What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Unreasonable Life podcast. I have a very special guest today. I have a six-figure massage therapist who I wanted her to jump on today just so we can talk about her journey. And she's had quite a journey in business and continues to grow to this day. I first met her when she was making $3,000 a month in her own practice. And today she's a six-figure therapist. And I thought this conversation could really add value to you in the growth of your practice. She's got a lot of great insights, and I'm so excited to get in today's interview. AnnMarie, thank you so much for jumping on today. How are you?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Michael. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I've been wanting to do this interview with you for a while, so I'm super glad we had enough time, and then we were able to make this time. Because your journey is and your growth as a therapist is one of my favorite things to watch.
Thank you.
And um, I I wanted to do this interview because I think you should be studied. That's what I think.
Well, thank you. That's probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So so yeah, let's just get into it. Like
Yeah.
I first met you when you were making 3K a month.
Well, that's so
Is that right?
not quite. No. It was during COVID. I live in California, and in March of 2020, basically the state of California said we couldn't do massage anymore.
Hmm.
So I couldn't work. And I was like, I think I need to go out on my own. And I met you during that time. I was working for someone else at the time. And so that's when I realized I needed to go out on my own. And so that's how you and I met. I don't even think I was at 3,000 a month yet. I I didn't really have any of my own clients. So I pretty much started with you like at zero.
Dang, I thought you were, my memory, I thought you were further along than that, which in my opinion makes your growth even more phenomenal,
Thanks.
starting from almost nothing. And because quickly, I think back then you went from, okay, so nothing in your own business to like 10K in 3 months back then, if I remember correctly. Like by
Well,
month three, I think you hit 10K. Am I wrong?
I think it was definitely, I mean, I wish it was that fast. I think it was slower than that, but it was because I remember that you and I had a conversation and I was like,
Mm.
I need to start getting my own clients. And I had like kind of started built like going on, I put myself on Yelp and I kind of started like building it up that way. And then I remember us talking about like an exit plan for me, leaving like where I had been working to like full time go all in working for
Hmm.
myself. And that happened pretty quickly. Like I remember I think it was June of 2020 we were allowed to start working again, and by September I think I was renting my own space and like out doing my own thing. So yeah, that was pretty
So,
quick.
so so what do you think? Like, what are some of the things you did back then, if you can remember,
Yeah.
um, that kind of took you from? Because this is even better. So, like, you started working for somebody else.
Mhm.
What happened to the in between the point of you being at somebody else's place to you renting your own space? Like, what was that journey like?
So I didn't have a lot of income, so I started doing mobile. And I you can post your business on Yelp for free. So I went on Yelp and like created a page. I got a Google Voice number so that people didn't have like my personal cell phone number, and just started doing mobile and would literally take anyone. Like I would go to anyone's house any time of day, and just yeah, and I think I started at like $70 an hour or something, like so low. And then I live in Southern California. Everything is like spread out. People live all over. The traffic's crazy. And so I realized after a couple months, like I can't do this like forever. Um, and so that's why I ended up finding a space. Something else I did was go put myself on Groupon. That's also free to do. And so I put myself on Groupon. And you can't do that for mobile services, but once I had a space, I was able to do Groupon. And yeah, then that helped me grow as well.
Looking back at that stage for Groupon, do you feel like it was a mistake?
No, not at all.
Were
No.
you able to be successful in Groupon?
Yes. And the way I define success with Groupon is capturing the lead of the person coming in from Groupon and being able to, so I capped it. I forget if I did 3 sessions. I think it was 3 sessions you could do on Groupon. And then after that, you needed to book directly with me. So having that cap, I was able to capture the lead and then get people to book directly with me. Something you and I worked on was having like a package available so that it wasn't from their Groupon rate, like all the way to my full price to kind of have the upsell them without it being a huge jump. And that helped me to capture them. And I would say that Groupon was definitely successful for me.
You were able to retain some of those people long term?
Yeah.
Is there anybody from back then? Because that was years ago now. It's like freaking
Mhm.
6 years ago now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
That still sees me now.
yeah, do they still see you now?
It's a couple, a guy and a girl, a couple. They still see me now. Yeah, from Groupon.
Yeah, I have a few that have been seeing me for years from Groupon. Uh, and some that I didn't even know, like I didn't even realize or remember. They're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I first found you on Groupon." I'm like, "Oh snap, I forgot about that."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, are you still using Groupon today for your business?
No. So, in 2021, and we may get into this, at the end of 2021, I was really burnt out and a lot of things were happening in my life and I ended up closing my business, my practice.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of a rash decision. Looking back, I would have done things differently. But at the time, it felt like the best decision for me. And
Yeah.
so I didn't notify Groupon that I was closing and I just closed. And so because of that, I'm banned from doing Groupon again because I guess there were outstanding Groupon credits that Groupon had to pay people back for. So there's that.
So they shouldn't spend the money before it's redeemed.
Exactly. Also, similar note, I'm on Instagram and so my business is the same name from 2020 as it is today, Restore Massage. And that's why I can't go on Groupon again because I have like the same name. Um, and I also have the same Instagram. And in 2021, I was running a lot of Instagram ads and something like violated some meta law for advertising. And so I'm banned from doing ads on Instagram as well. So,
Okay. And you haven't gotten that figured out yet?
no,
They're never going to let you back on as the same name, huh?
no, I've gone. So it's very complicated, but basically, I've gone to like a different state and used a different IP address and a different computer to set up a new Facebook account to do meta ads, and they won't let me. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Any hint that it's you and you're out, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that's an easy transition into, well, how the heck have you grown your business this time? Because I mean, you went from nothing to moving out onto your own. And I think back then, I mean, you were definitely over 10. I think one of your best months, if I remember, was like 14 grand, probably
Yeah.
including packages and all that. Um, and then you closed down and then you
Mhm.
started up again.
Yeah.
But now you haven't been able to use Groupon. You haven't been able to use Instagram.
Yeah.
So tell me, from when you started back up, what was that like?
Yeah. So I started again in November 2023. I did still have access to my clients, like the list of clients that I had previously. One of
Where
the
did you
things,
where did you have that list? What was this list from?
so it was in Square. So I used Square as my payment processor, and I
Hmm.
was able to get back in there and kind of see some of the list. And I also went through the contacts in my phone. I don't know if anyone else does this. I don't delete contacts. So I'll have like, yeah, ever. So people in there forever. And
Okay.
so it just went back through and I started texting people and letting them know that I was going to start back up again. I did the same thing in terms of like I started mobile. Again, I knew it wasn't going to last very long, but I needed to like get revenue going again and get start seeing people. So that's what I did. I also I don't recommend this, but I went on massagefinder.com, which is a place that you can post an ad. It's like $45 a month, and people will find you on there for massage. Got a lot of weirdos. That's why I don't recommend it. But if you need revenue, people will find you there.
Did you find anybody who wasn't a weirdo on there?
No, no one that I continued seeing.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, maybe
But
don't
like
use that one.
yeah, but these were also people who like who wanted mobile services. So there were like some normal situations and normal people on there, but they all wanted mobile, and I ended up getting a location again. So
Right. Right.
yeah. Yeah. Um and so I also did ClassPass. That was something that was an idea I had gotten from you. ClassPass has been great. Again, I capped it at it's 2 sessions. They can come to see me through ClassPass, and then they have to book directly with me. I also same situation as Groupon. Like they book the 2 sessions, and then there's a package available that they can buy, or they can pay the regular rate or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and the strategy that we went over there is I call that a transition package, right? Because a lot of times these sites are giving major discounts, and if you're going from 65 or 70 bucks an hour to 130, 140, it's a big jump for some people. So I typically recommend a transition package there that
Yeah.
might be around 100 or something like that. Somewhere in the middle there. It's like you can have one-time access one time to this package, and then you can come back at my regular rates or my regular package rates. So that's been an effective strategy for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was also this time I was able to reopen my Yelp from, when I had it previously. So my reviews were still on there. I was able to reopen my Google business profile. So those reviews were still on there. So that has been helpful. I did have to get a new Google Voice number. Not a big deal. I just updated it. And then we're back in business.
Back in business. So when we first got reconnected, I think you were at like six, close to 7 or 7,000 a month.
Yeah.
How quickly did you get to that 7,000? What was that? Was that like right away? Did it take you several years, or like what was that?
So yeah, it didn't take years. But what I will say is so I decided in November 2023 to reopen. And I also knew that my nervous system couldn't handle me like being full-time business owner again. One of the things that I really struggled with back in 2020 and 2021 was like having boundaries and not part of that was like the pandemic and like feeling this constant like fight or flight of like I might not be able to work again and I need to take everyone available to me because if the government says I can't work again, like I'm going to be screwed. So this time in 2023, I was like, I need to build this more sustainably and slower growth. So I actually took 2 part-time jobs and then built the business on the side so that I would have steady income coming in to help my nervous system with like the growth and all the changes. So your question was, how many months did it take me to get to the 6 or 7K? I'm gonna try to look right now and see if I can tell you. So um yeah, it looks like by February of 2020, yeah, 2025. I would say it took me um probably about a little over a year.
Okay.
It looks like by March of 2025, I was over 5 grand a month. So like from November to like of 2023 to March of 2025. So a year and a couple months maybe. But again, I
Okay.
had 2 part-time jobs too. So
So money was okay.
money was okay, but also I say that to say like I wasn't all in on the business. Like I was growing it slowly and transitioning out of those jobs. So yeah.
Okay. Are you full time now?
Yes,
And how's that experience for you?
it's great. Yeah.
Different? Is it different than last time?
Yeah.
How so?
So I have set hours that I work this
Mhm.
time, which has helped a lot because people know when I'm open and when they can expect to see me and when they can expect to get on the schedule. It's helped me to know when I'm off, when I'm like not massage is very much not just a job where you're on because you're like doing massage, but you're also in sales and you're also like educating. So you're like a teacher, a salesperson, a massage therapist, all in an hour. And so there's a lot of aspects to it and a lot of components. And so it can be exhausting sometimes. So knowing when I need to be on and when I can be off has been helpful.
And being a salesperson, is that something that's easy for you?
No,
Is
it's
that
gotten easier. It's
a
gotten easier.
natural, you're not a natural salesperson?
No.
So what do you think it is that makes you so willing to do the sales even though it's not natural for you? Because this is one of the things that I see, one of the main areas I see people struggle is really just a willingness to ask the questions, to ask for the rebooking, to offer the package, all these things that are very uncomfortable conversations around money. What is it that how'd you get comfortable with that? Or yeah,
Yeah. So I remember that you had me read the book Sell or Be Sold. Did Grant Cardone write that? Is he the
yeah.
author? Yeah. So I read that book and I was like, I'm the person that gets sold. I literally will buy anything. Like it's ridiculous. So I was like, I'm the person that gets sold like all the time. So I need to be the one that sells, right? And I always had this like kind of icky or weird feeling around sales and thought it was like kind of sleazy. But I've actually, I think, made it so low pressure for my clients now, um, where I don't feel like I'm selling. And I've also detached from the outcome. So I used to be really attached to like, they have to buy this package. I need to sell this. I need this money. And now I'm like, if they do, cool. If they don't, it's all right. The next person will come and, it'll work out.
And where did that attitude come from? How did you develop that?
So I think having like some consistent income with the part-time jobs while I grew the business helped me to feel more financially secure and not so desperate for the next client. I think that was part of it from like a practical aspect of like having money helped.
Yeah.
And then I honestly think faith, like this is something that you and I have talked about, but like I remember, so it was like not even that long ago, but even it was probably like the spring of 2024. So, like 2 years ago, I would be looking at my schedule. And at the time, I wanted to do 10 hours of massage a week. And I would look and I would have like 7 hours booked. And I would just be like, God, if I could have 10 hours of massage this week, that would be really great. But if I can't, I'll make the best use of my time in finding new clients. Amen. Thank you. And that's what I did. It's like so ridiculous, but it worked because I just like, again, detached from the outcome.
I thought that was so funny because I think I asked you in the beginning. I was like, "What you been doing for marketing?" She's like, "Honestly, praying."
Yeah.
like, hey, it got you to 6, 7,000.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So the Grant Cardone book, the Seller Be Sold book, I do recommend that. Now, I don't recommend Grant Cardone for sales training anymore. I used to, but for our type of sales, it's too pushy, in my opinion. However, I still recommend that book for people to get over their fear of sales, right?
Hmm.
Because that the concept is you're either selling or being sold, right? Like every conversation you're having, everything is sales, right? At
Yep.
all times,
Hmm.
right? I'm currently selling you on sales, right? That's the point of what I'm saying. Like we're always transferring some sort of belief, right? And so that book really helped me as well get over my fear of sales
Yeah.
and this negative feeling that I would have around being a salesperson. It actually made me fall in love with sales. And now I went a little bit too far, Grant Cardone, in the beginning,
Hmm.
and I would actually hear, "You're a really good salesperson." which sounds like a compliment, but for what we do, I never want to hear that
Yeah.
ever. I don't want people to ever feel like they're being sold,
Hmm.
right? There's a quote that said, people love to buy what they hate being sold.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's so true. Like I went to Best Buy the other day with my son. I'm just like, ooh, look at all this stuff I could buy. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. But I definitely don't want like a salesperson in my face.
Right.
Like when I need you, bro.
Hmm.
Anyways, highly recommend that book. Um, okay, so you went from prayer as a marketing strategy,
Yeah,
and
I sure did.
that prayer pretty much capped you around 7.
Yeah.
Um, how did you? So where are you at? Where are you at revenue now or lately?
Yeah. The last 8 months, it's been over 9K a month, hands-on gross revenue, and five of those were over 10K.
Okay. And because I know, I'm just going to ask. It is more revenue than that because of packages, gift cards, things like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
The actual hands-on work you're doing, you're closing out
Yep.
$10,000 a month
Yeah.
regularly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In that time, first I do want to ask, what's the difference? How did you go from 7 to 10 plus? Right? Like where did you do anything differently?
Yeah, action. Like I, so I in the past have dealt with like a lot of anxiety around like growing a business and all of that. And one of the best quotes I ever heard is like, the cure to anxiety is action. So just like it doesn't matter if you feel anxious about it, like you have to start doing something because it's then that will take away the anxiety. And so that's what I did. So with part of the reason that I love Square as a payment processor, and people have different beliefs on this, but you can get payment processing, appointments, newsletters. It works as a CRM, meaning it will hold all your clients' phone numbers, email addresses, credit
Yeah.
cards on file. You can do invoices, you can do payment links for $44 a month. So for me, it's such a win. So I started doing weekly newsletters through Square, and you can also schedule them. So I'll sit down at the beginning of the month or something and write out, 4 or 5 newsletters. I send them every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m., and they go out. And you know, sometimes it feels like you're putting something out into the ether and you're like, does anyone even read this? And you can see the open rate. But once in a while, clients will come in and be like, oh, I read your newsletter about this. It was so good. Or thanks for writing about that. Or would you ever consider writing about pillows or desk ergonomics? And I'm like, these are great ideas. Yes, of course. Yeah,
Was there ever any resistance for doing that for you?
absolutely. Yeah.
The answer is
Yeah.
so quick.
Yes. Yeah. ChatGPT helps for sure. Yeah, coming up with ideas or helping to rewrite sentences. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. What did you do to get over that resistance?
I think a lot of business is doing things that you don't want to do.
Hmm.
I really do. I do. I think that.
There is going to be a lot of that for sure.
Yeah. Until you can hire out the things you don't want to do. So for me right now, it's bookkeeping. I hate doing it. I don't do it, but my taxes are due in 2 weeks, so it's got to get done.
Yeah, I definitely hire that out.
Yeah.
I
And
think I
I'm
did that
going
my
to.
first year. Yeah,
So,
I did that my first year, and then I was like, I can't do this.
yeah. Yeah. So in addition, you asked about marketing. So the newsletters, that
Mhm.
helped me just to even again, so my point in saying like not you feel like you're sending it out, you don't even know if people are reading it is like even if they just see your business name pop up or it's getting in front of people, keeping your name and your brand relevant. Uh Also willing to like work for free. Like I still do free work.
What?
And
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You're telling people to work for free,
yeah.
but the mindset in the massage therapy field is to charge your worth, to never discount, to don't do stuff for free. Like, and you're telling me you're doing the opposite of that.
Yeah, I would say because I do sort of keep track of like how much free work I do each month, and it's usually around 3 to 5 hours a month. And that'll be on. So today I had someone come in. She owns a personal training gym that's new. And she came in, I gave her a free half hour to try it out, see if she liked it. And then I gave her three gift cards that are for a free half hour session each that she can gift to personal training clients. She can do a raffle, she can do whatever she wants with them. Um, so yeah, I still regularly do free work.
But what about deal shoppers or people who just want the free stuff and take advantage of you and never come back?
It's the cost of doing business.
How often is that happening that people aren't coming back?
I mean, it happens. I had another new client come in today. I after the session made a recommendation of how often I thought she should come in. I do a membership program. So I told her about my membership program and she said she wanted to think about it and she left. And so I may never see her again, and that's okay. It's like, it's fine.
You ever
But
you follow up with them?
yeah, so I try to text all my people the next day to check in and see how they're feeling after their session, especially new clients. And if you're asking for like percentages of how many people come in once and don't return, it might be 40 to 50% um, off the first visit. The reason I like packages is because even if someone doesn't want to do a membership, they don't want to commit to something and they just want to buy a package of 3 or 4 sessions, if I can get someone to come in 3 or 4 times, they're going to remember me and they're going to come back down the line. So last week I had a woman that I had seen 4 times, maybe 6 months ago. And she reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I had a flare up. I need to come back in." So she came in last week, bought another package of three.
Love it. Love it. So why do you think you're able to be successful with these type of things? You're successful with Groupon, you're successful with ClassPass, all these discount offers where I'm hearing all the time people talk about their all they get is deal shoppers and nobody ever comes back. Or and now you're telling me you do free work and you're doing free hands-on and you're giving free 30-minute gift cards, but you're actually converting these people. Why do you think you're able to do that and other people are not successful with that?
I think it all comes down to like mindset and reframing. So when you're new or when you're in a slower season of business, I would rather take $60 an hour or get my hands on someone than $0 an hour with no one I'm working on. And so reframing it as like some income is better than no income has helped me to not be upset about someone who's coming in on a discount or not feel like, oh, this isn't worth it. I also understand because I've had a lot of bad massages myself. And I don't want to pay $200 or $300 an hour to go have an experience I don't like. So I personally have bought massages on Groupon before. Does that make me a deal shopper? Maybe, but it also makes me someone who wants to try something out at not the full rate all the time to see if I like it, to see if I want to go back again.
Right? And when you bought these Groupon massages, what was your experience like?
Generally not great
Have you ever had a good one?
on Groupon.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So tell me about maybe one that stands out to you. Like what made it not great?
So this wasn't a session from Groupon, but this was just a session that I had recently that wasn't great. Um, the therapist was super rushed. And so I had booked online. Their online booking allowed booking like up to the time of the session, basically. So say it was like 15 minutes before the hour that my time was going to start, and I was able to book it online. So when I got there, she didn't realize. And so she was all like frazzled and frantic and like, "Oh, you must have just booked." And I was like, yeah, this was also a situation where they had front desk staff. So the front desk staff, in my opinion, should have told her, like, hey, you have someone coming in. Anyway, so she was like very frazzled and she like came in. She was like, oh, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Like, and she didn't really look at me when she was doing the intake or like asking me what she wanted me to work on. And then she left. And then in my head, I'm like, I hope she gets a chance to like breathe a little bit because I don't want her all like frazzled and then feeling like rushed through her massage, through
Mhm.
my massage, working on me. Yeah.
Yeah. And how was the massage?
It was okay. There was also a lot of like external noise in the building that bothered me. I very sensitive to that. Yeah.
Do you think if the massage was amazing, you would have cared about that external noise?
No.
So the massage wasn't amazing.
No, it was not.
Did you get any relief from it?
Yeah, for like an hour or two.
You felt a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this is what I think is like probably the reason you're able to convert these people when most people aren't. Because if you like, I remember I went to a massage school and I talked to them and I asked them like, how many of you had massage before? Right? They all
Hmm.
raised their hand. I'm like, how many of you have had a bad massage before? Right? They all raised their hand, and I'm like, and
Yeah.
it's not by the people in this room, of course, right? Like
Right.
none
Right.
of your students or your co-students or whatever. Um, they started laughing, and I'm like, they all raised their hand, right? And then I'm like, how many of you told them that the massage was bad? Hands
Yeah.
down, right? And so this is why I think people are like, well, I only get deal shoppers. And I'm like, well, maybe, right? There are deal shoppers. There are people who are only coming in for a deal. But more than likely, they did not like the massage. More
Yep.
than likely, you did not get them the results that they wanted, and you did not exceed their expectations or even meet their expectations, right? And so that's the reason people aren't coming back. So there's got to be something you're doing that is meeting or exceeding people's expectations on some level
Yeah.
because you're doing these strategies that everybody else is failing at and you're winning.
Hmm. And part of it comes down to confidence. And I think a lot of massage therapists, in my experience, can be egotistical. I can be as well. I totally relate to that. However, there's a fine line between confidence and ego. And so here's what I mean. When someone comes in to see me, I don't say to them or carry this energy of like, I'm the best. I'm the best massage therapist. No one's better than me. I don't carry that attitude, but I am confident. So when they sit down and they say, oh, my neck's really bothering me, I always say, you're in the right place. That's exactly what I do. I don't tell them like, I'm going to fix you or you're never going to be in pain again. But I do convey like, I know what I'm doing and I can help you to feel better.
How else do you put like, or do you give the client confidence in you?
Yeah, I had that's a really good question. I had someone come in the other day. Um, so like to back up, like overarching, I think it's education and helping them to understand like I do know what I'm talking about. And also, I remember when you and I were first working together in 2020, you said to me, when people come in, take notes, like write down on a piece of paper notes and things that they're saying, because who takes notes? Doctors. And like so often in massage school, we're taught like, you're not a doctor, you can't diagnose, you can't prescribe, you can't tell them what to do. But I disagree. Like, we are way more educated in anatomy and physiology than most people. And we see a lot and we can identify patterns and help people to understand what's happening with their bodies. So so when someone comes in for a session, especially a new client, I sit down with them and take notes and talk about what's going on with them and why they're here. So just a couple of days ago, I had a new guy come in and we're going through the intake and we're talking. And he's like, I have this pain in my hip, my left one, like comes and goes. And I spend a lot of time in the car, like 4 to 5 hours a day. And I was like, okay, how is your foot positioned in the car? Is it always bent, your left leg? Like your right leg's driving, right? So you get like blood flow, you get movement in that leg, but your left leg's stagnant. So is it at an angle just, or is it straight out, or do you move it? And he's like, he paused and he was like, I've never thought about it. And I was like, well, you're not getting blood flow or movement in that leg the whole time that it's stationary while you're driving 4 to 5 hours a day. You need to start stretching that leg more and like move it around more while you're in the car while you're driving. And I think that's really going to help with that pain that you're feeling. And I think those little things like instill confidence in the client of like, oh, she's thinking about things that I don't think about, or she knows how to present something that I never even considered.
Yeah, sometimes even asking, even just the question and getting them to think about it,
Mhm.
right? Is value. This is valuable to them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I never thought about that, right? It's like even like it doesn't have to be every problem. I solve every problem that the client has, like, or every problem isn't solved with massage therapy. Like you're doing your best to solve this problem, even if it is outside of your service, right? And I think that's
Absolutely.
partially you showing up with a heart of service first.
Mhm.
And that's a great example of that.
Yeah. And I have developed partnerships with chiropractors and physical therapists, personal trainers. And so I will always refer out. Like if I think someone needs physical therapy or they need to see a personal trainer, I will always refer out for that.
And I think that that's a really good mindset. That to me, that is an abundance mindset,
Mm,
right? Like somebody who doesn't have an abundance mindset might say, well, if I send them to the chiropractor, then they might never come back because they don't need me. So
mm.
I'm not gonna refer anybody. But you're literally adding value not only to your client, you're adding value to other practitioners and their business. Like you're creating value everywhere that you go.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
How important do you think mindset is in your success?
I think it's really important. Um, because first of all, I don't think business is taught well in massage school. I am blessed. Like I have an undergraduate degree in business in marketing. Granted, this was a very long time ago, but so I don't think that business is taught well, and I don't think mindset is taught well. And I think that those are two, if you're going to start your own practice, the two things to learn are business and mindset. And having an abundance mindset and reframing, like I talked about, people, making some money over zero money, it's really important. There are a lot of even the belief of like taught in massage school, we're not doctors, we can't diagnose and prescribe. Like, I'm not
Mm,
literally sitting down writing out a prescription for like Xanax, but I'm going to tell you, like, hey, you should start meditating for like 10 minutes a day, or you should go for a walk on your lunch break. Like, I'm going to give you practical things you can do that are going to help you and in turn help me because when you are able to be more relaxed, it helps me do my job better and helps me help your muscles relax more.
yeah, absolutely. Are there any key areas that you had a mindset shift that aided in your success?
Around money, for sure. There are, you know, I still get people who call and they ask me for the price and I tell them and they say like that's too expensive and that's okay. Like they're not my people. I think sometimes we can fall into the trap of like I have to be for everyone. Like I'm not. I'm not for everyone. I know that. It's okay. I don't need to be for everyone.
Yeah.
So I think a mindset around that. I think the mindset, so something you had talked a little bit, you and I previously, like before we got on this, about fluctuations in business, like different months and different, seasons of the year and things like that. And one belief that I have held since 2020, because I really needed it at that time, was I create my own economy. And the people who want to find me are going to find me. And when there's a slower time or the news is crazy, I just remind myself I create my own economy.
Where did that come from? I love that.
Bob Proctor.
Bob Proctor.
Hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you have a really big, like a high level of personal responsibility
Oh yeah.
in your business. Like you're taking control. It doesn't sound like, I don't know that through this whole conversation you've ever took the stance of a victim type of a mindset or a woe is me or you from what I'm hearing, I've never heard you blame somebody else for why you can or can't do something.
No, I think it all like starts and ends with me. Yeah.
Has it always been like that for you?
Yeah. Because I truly believe that if I want to be successful, like it's up to me. No one's coming to save me. No one's going to walk through my door and say, here's 50 new clients. Like it's all up, like, and that's probably hyper independence and some sort of trauma response. I don't know, but here we are. Like,
Or it's just reality.
yeah,
Maybe you just realize it because of trauma,
maybe.
but I think that's just the truth. Like if anybody's saving you, it's not going to be a good life.
Right,
Like if you're dependent on somebody else, there is these safety programs, but you're never thriving in them,
right.
you know? I love it. Is there any other mindset, like key mindset shifts or anything else that you could think of that would benefit somebody in their business or their journey to six figures?
Yeah. So I'm hiring therapists to work for me. You and I talked about this a little bit a couple months ago, but so right now I'm still a solo practitioner, but the goal is to have 5 people on the team by the end of 2026. And so that's a big goal. It's a big growth opportunity. I have hired someone already this year. It ended up not working out. And what it came down to was attitude. And maybe because I have the attitude and the stance of like, no one's coming to save me and like, I have to do this myself. I have a hard time with people who don't want to take responsibility or don't want to work or want to find reasons and things to blame. Um, and something I've seen in interviews, I was doing some interviews yesterday. I interviewed a male therapist, and he said to me, it's really hard to be a male therapist. It's like so much harder than being a female therapist. And to be honest, I'm not going to hire him because he said that. Because I can teach you skills. I can teach you like for massage. I can help teach you how to market a business. I can help you with sales. I can teach you how to grow. I can teach you how to communicate to clients. But if you fully believe that life is harder for you as a male therapist, or no one wants to book with you as a male therapist, and I'm out here trying to market for you, and I'm pushing and I'm trying to get you new clients, and you're rowing the boat left and I'm rowing the boat right, we're never going to get to the same place.
Hmm. Yeah, that belief is pretty rampant in
Yeah.
our and there's a quote by Jim Quick. Anytime belief comes up, it's probably my favorite mindset quote. Period. And I know you've heard me say it before. It is uh, our brain is a supercomputer, and our beliefs are the program that it runs. And so the reason I love that is because for the first time, it like made it clear, like, oh, this is what, like, when they say, like, think, what is a book, Think and Grow Rich, like the
Yeah.
way you think affects
Becomes
the way
reality. Yeah.
it becomes reality. And the way he broke it down is basically like you act on your beliefs, right? So if your belief is, well, nobody wants to come see me because I'm a male therapist, it's so much harder for me. All of your actions are going to work together to make that belief true.
Yeah.
And so, like, whatever it is, it's hard to make money. It's, I'm not skilled enough to get to $10,000 a month. It's too hard to get to $10,000 a month. I can't work on that many clients. Whatever the belief is, all of your actions are going to work to make that true. I'm so busy. I just don't have time. All of your actions are going to work together to make sure that you are busy and never have time.
Yeah. And so to that point, the therapist that I had to let go, was a male therapist and he did have that belief, right? And so he and I I tried to work with him on mindset a little bit, but he had like 4 sessions booked, okay? And these were like spread over a couple of weeks. And I think, or I believe that because he had this belief, like one of the appointments the woman just canceled. Two of them he ended up getting sick the day before and I had to cancel them. So all of things will align and conspire to give you what you believe, which is exactly what you just said, right? So like he believes it's too hard for him, and then I get these appointments booked, and then all these things start happening where people are canceling and he's
Yep.
getting sick and it's not working out.
Yeah.
And the woman who was booked with him, who had canceled on her own, she's one of my clients. And the next time she came in, I was like, oh yeah, I was sorry to see that you had to cancel that appointment. And she was like, yeah, I don't know why. I just like wasn't feeling it. I just like decided it wasn't going to be a good fit for me. She never met the guy. They never met. But just out of the blue, she was like, yeah, I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. And look, all these opportunities show up for him to reinforce that belief that it's hard for him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a really great example of that too. It's like so instant.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't get it. We don't get such instant feedback. But um, AnnMarie, thank you so much for jumping on today. Is
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
there anything we didn't talk about that you just want to mention that might help some people?
Yeah, I think this ties into like mindset as well, but the fluctuations in business, like I know I briefly talked about it, like there, as an example, I had someone come in like January and she's someone I met at a networking event. We know another like massage therapist in common from a similar networking event. And so this woman comes in to see me and she's like, "Oh, how's business been?" I was like, "It's great." And she was like, "Oh, that's interesting because like the other massage therapist that we know, she said it's been so slow lately." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." I just don't accept that. Like, I just don't buy into that belief. And like, because basically it was January and like she was like, oh, with the holidays and stuff, like people stopped buying, people stopped coming in, they stopped taking care of themselves. And that's why she said it's been slow for her. And I just don't believe that and I don't buy into it. Like, again, back to the I create my own economy. Like, yes, there are steps I take, like selling packages in October that have to be used within 3 months to make sure people are coming in and staying consistent over the holidays, which is something I learned from you. But I just don't really believe in fluctuations. Like, yes, it happens, but it's like $1,000 difference. It's not, I'm not seeing high swings of thousands of dollars over July and August because everyone's traveling because it's the summer.
Yeah, but there's a reason you're not.
'Cause I don't believe it that it happens. Like, I just don't
Well,
believe it. Like,
there's that, but you're also so like what I see is I can tell when somebody tells me they have these type of fluctuations immediately before asking any questions. I know they're not doing the things that you're doing. They are not making recommendations for frequency. They're just hoping, like they're using your old method of hoping and praying people come back, right?
yeah,
And they might not even be doing that,
yeah,
you know. So they're just letting people choose when they want to come in and just saying, "Hey, just let me know when you want to come back." I already know they're doing that because they have these big fluctuations.
yeah,
Whereas you, I know because I've worked with you, I know you are putting people on a plan. Here's
yeah,
the plan, and then the plan is to be coming in consistently even after you're feeling good because we want to stay that way.
yeah,
And so what you've done is you've taken action on filling the gaps. So yeah, you're not seeing $10,000 a month and then a $5,000 a month. You're seeing a $10,000 a month and a $9,000 a month,
mhm,
right? Like, of course, maybe we slow down a little bit because we had a few cancellations that month, or people got sick. Like those are the type of fluctuations you're seeing. But overall, people are staying consistent because you have a plan
yeah.
and you work that plan. You have a
And I will
process.
say, yeah, I will say the membership helps with that as well in terms of like consistent monthly recurring revenue. But that only accounts for like a third of my rev, not even. not even a third of my revenue each month, but it does help in terms of people coming in.
Yeah, but the membership is a third up front, and then those people might come in several times that month, right? And so
Right.
it might be more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you get a third of your revenue on the first
Every month.
every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 100%. That's going to equal some consistency for you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude. Congratulations. Thank you so much for jumping
Yeah.
on.
Thanks
Um,
for having me.
I think you added a bunch of value here. I hope for those of you who are watching, I hope that that you were able to take something from this, apply it to your business, apply it to your mindset, and start succeeding in your own practice. AnnMarie, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, restore.massage. I'm in Orange County, California, in Irvine. Would love to hear from you. If anyone has questions or like wants guidance, Michael's an awesome coach, for sure. But if you have a one-off question, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram, restore.massage, and happy to answer any questions.
You can also talk to AnnMarie inside of our Skool community. She's a member inside of there, the Unreasonable Life on Skool. And I'm sure you'd be happy to engage with anybody in there if they had any questions. Um, and,
Absolutely.
and so would I. Thank you so much, AnnMarie. I hope you have a great day. Stick around after this
Yeah.
recording is done. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.